How's it going?
Okay, guys. Today I am here with a very special guest, and this is the Gaming Harbinger. We're at the anime convention known as Anime Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here to talk with Nick, who is the con chair.
Hello. Hello.
And first of all, like I said before, I really appreciate you taking time to speak with us. You know, this is going to be, my way of connecting better with the community, especially in Oklahoma, And I remember at one point when the community, as far as anime in the Oklahoma City area, it used to be a pretty good size. I would say at least the size that it was in Tulsa, OK. So it's like, I know that the potential is definitely there.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's get down to some questions.
Sure.
So this is your second year running Anime Oklahoma. So but I'm curious, like, is this the first anime convention that you've ran?
This is the first anime convention that I've completely overseen and organized. I've worked for multiple anime conventions over the years, but I've never been like the con chair of a convention. So yeah, this is my first attempt at like fully putting out the whole product.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what got you into this? What got you into?
A long story, right? But no, I mean, I got into anime really young, just like most people, and started going to anime cons probably in the mid to early 2000s. And to be honest, I was always an attendee until probably maybe 2015 or so, when I moved to Dallas. And I met some friends that were also involved in anime cons. So then I started volunteering, and then you're a staffer, and then you and then you worked your all the way up. And so, I've worked for conventions that boast 20,000 plus attendees at a director level. I've also just volunteered for conventions that have 500 or 600 people that show up.
Right.
And so that's where eventually I got to the point where it's not that I didn't have as much fun at anime conventions, but I'd been to conventions all over the country and seen what they all do and kind of had my own vision of what a really cool, fun, community-driven convention could be. And so I was like, okay, cool. I kind of want to start trying to do that and see if we can make something. Because everyone's always like, I can do better. We're like, okay, well, can we actually do better? Let's try it. Let's see if we can, everyone always has an opinion about it, which is valid. It's fair, but there's capital. It's hard to just start a convention, right? And so this one, that's kind of how I got into the convention scene, and then this one had the opportunity to kind of change hands. And that's where I wanted to come and kind of do something in the Oklahoma community.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So where are you from?
So I'm originally from New Orleans, and then ended up in Dallas. So I live in Dallas now. And Oklahoma is on my radar because for where I personally live in Dallas is only 2.5 hours from here. So to me, Oklahoma is right there. And I saw that, like, kind of like what you mentioned, the community's here for sure. There's like a want for anime conventions, especially anime specific conventions, because there's a ton of pop culture conventions that I've been to and are super fun. I keep coming back year after year, whether we booth or not, because they're just a lot of fun. But there's clearly like a need or a want for an anime specific style convention. That's definitely more like a little smaller and like personable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, so what was your first convention?
So I was trying to remember, and I tried to look it up. So my first convention was either New Moreno Con, which used to be a free convention held in Louisiana. And it was tiny because I remember going and I saw Scott McNeil, who was the voice, I think, of Piccolo, I think back in the day.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
So that was like circa like 02 or 03, I don't remember. It was either that or Anime Central. because my friend, like, still living in Louisiana, because we saw that the Pillows, who did the music for Foolie Cooley, were going to be playing at Anime Central all the way up in Chicago, and we were like, we're going. And so when you're like 17 or 18, you're like, okay, let's do it. Do you have enough money? Nah, we'll figure it out. So we literally left. We left Friday, or was it Thursday night at like 8 p.m., drove all night, got there Friday morning at 8 a.m., and then just conned for 3 days, and then came home Sunday night. Like, it was wild. There's no way I could do that nowadays.
I definitely miss those days when you're like, I think I have $100. Okay, let's go.
Yes, that's really what it was. We just made it happen. Yeah. Now I think about things first before I do them.
It's like now it's almost like it's not the wrong thing to do, but it's like you overcalculate and you're thinking, wait a minute, gas, food. Well, what kind of food do I want? Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to just eat fast food. So, well, how about this? Okay, and then, okay, is there anything I want to buy? Okay, what about this? And you're just thinking about, and then other times when you're much younger, you're just you just jump right into it. Just
survive on Pocky and ramen, and you're good. Like, the whole weekend. Maybe a Monster or something here and there. I don't know if we had Monster yet, but yeah, no, I can't do that anymore.
That definitely brings back, especially you said what, 2003?
Yeah, I think it was 03. I think that was my first like official convention, because before then I kind of knew of anime, but I was more into video games, and like the only anime I was really watching was whatever would come on Sci-Fi, like at 10 a.m. or 2 a.m. in the morning.
I remember those
the
days.
Sci-Fi anime block, or like Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, that was on, Cowboy Bebop and those kind of stuff.
Akira, Dominion Tank Police.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of all the stuff they used to have.
Yeah, Dominion Tank Police.
Eight Man after.
Yeah, El Hazard. I don't know if that was.
Yes, City Hunter.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, no.
And definitely more on the edgier side.
Yes. Yeah, no, I remember we had an anime club at my high school, and we were watching, I forgot what anime we were watching, but the moderator, the teacher or whatever, we got through and he was like, we can't watch this one anymore. And we're like, well, no, whatever, well, clearly as an adult, I'm like, yeah, there's no way we should have been watching that, especially at school. Like, he had every right to say, no, stop. It was definitely an adult anime. It wasn't anything like horrific, but it was definitely like adult anime, not for 14-year-olds.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, like, in regards to Anime Oklahoma, is there anything like the past 2 years that you're like, I would like to implement this, or I haven't got around this or figured a way to implement this, but I would like to in the future?
Oh yeah, there's a lot. I have so many ideas, to be honest. And a lot of times I have a really cool, awesome staff too, and we try to communicate with each other and bounce ideas, and we're big fans of the throwing pasta at the wall, see if it sticks kind of thing, and trying it out and see if the community likes it or not, right? Because if we do something, even if we think it's really awesome and the community hates it, well, we won't do it. Or if we think it's silly, but the community absolutely loves it, then sure, let's do it, whatever, because we're here for the community. And, I have ideas, like, I would love to be able to do some sort of like Asian market or something like that.
Okay.
And again, I don't know if it's feasible, because it's permitting, what can the Con Hotel do, stuff like that. But I think that would be really cool to have some sort of like street market type thing, or even just like a fun Matsuri type festival, like how they do in like all the animes and stuff. They always have like the high school festival and stuff like that. Like if we could do some sort of like festival like that during the con, I think that would be so much fun, right? Stuff like that.
Oh,
and it causes, it's like interactive things.
And if you think about it, there's so many people that there might be like, yeah, I watch a little bit of anime, but you do something like that, they could be all in.
Yeah,
That could be a way to pull other people in and get their interests, and you're going to have a even broader demographic of people that are going to come in and just check it out and see what else is there, and they're like, oh well, I'm here for this because I want to try different stuff or whatever, or like you said, it's something that I see stuff like this in movies or anime, and it would be cool to experience it.
Yeah, so. Exactly. And I have, luckily over the years too, I have a lot of Japanese friends now. Some have been coworkers in my day job too, right? Because you never know, all walks of life as you go through life, right? And so, I'm conscious of the fact too, where I'll reach out and say, hey, I really want to try this thing, is that like okay, or is that like insensitive? Is it culturally insensitive? But for the most part, Japanese people are like, yes, please, culture, get it out there, like have everyone experience our culture. It's awesome, right?
Yeah.
Which is really cool. But I do, kind of check for that kind of thing to make sure that we're, because it's anime, it's fictitious, right? So like it's not, I don't want to necessarily perpetuate a bad thing, but
Right.
but yeah, and just interactive things in general too, right? Like this year we implemented sounds so formal. Sorry, I'm a corporate person by day, but like we did do the stamp rally, right? And so you can go around to different stations and have like a little interactive thing, get stamps, and people seem to be having a whole lot of fun with that. So I think that's awesome. So
Yeah.
like that's what I really want to do, more interactive things. I want things for people to do that's not just shop or go to a panel, which is nothing wrong with those things. But I want, when there's downtime in between a panel and shopping, what else can you do? Oh, you can go maybe shoot the zombie with a Nerf gun, or go spin a wheel and try to win a thing, or fish. I don't know, whatever. Just some sort of interactive things to do. I think that's fun, and it also helps create like organic experiences. Not to sound too like robotic, but like my fondness of old anime conventions from when I was younger was making lifetime friends sitting in line for the cosplay contest. Right? You're sitting there waiting because you had to get in line an hour and a half early. You're sitting with total strangers, and then you start chatting about Pokemon or whatever it is, and then you see them next year at the same convention, and then you see them the next year at the same convention, and then all of a sudden you're like lifelong friends, but you only see them like 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Right? But like that, I think that's awesome. So like ways to help promote that. I'm not trying to force it, right? But help promote it just because you're doing things in the hallway with other people, and so you end up talking and you make friends. That's like my goal.
And I think that's really smart because there's so many people that will go to an anime convention and maybe they are just here for cosplay, but then they find other things to do, and like you said, they're waiting in line for something else, and then it turns out they start talking and connecting, kind of like what I was telling you about before we started recording. The last panel I was at, everyone was really connecting. No one was really yelling or screaming at each other like, how come you don't like this, or it's not the best. It was like, oh yeah, so you don't like it for this reason. Well, that is kind of valid.
And I love that.
It was surprising. It was a very chill room. Nobody was upset or angry or well, I think this is mid and here's why. You would think that it would go off the rails, but it really didn't. So
that's awesome. I love to hear that. That's so encouraging.
Yeah. I that was a pretty enjoyable panel.
Awesome.
Yeah. So first I'm going to ask you before I get to your favorite anime. I'm going to ask you, is there anything that you're looking forward to seeing? Like anything that's come out recently?
Yeah, for sure. I think, well, for one, I know there's talk of more free run. So that's super exciting to me because in my opinion, that's probably one of the best overall packages that's come out in a long time, I think.
Oh, and you know what? I believe it or not, because I know it's been out for a little bit now. I just started that recently.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I definitely, especially, someone my age, we've seen a lot of different types of stuff. It's very refreshing. That's what I would say.
It really is.
It's a refreshing show to come across.
They have character development. They still have some of the fun tropes, right? The OP character and kind of stuff like that. But it's not, just the music is great. The animation is great. The character development's great. And the pacing, I think, is good. I know some people think it's a little slow, which is fine. Like everyone has their own.
And
thing
someone
that they like.
mentioned this show, by the way, at that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. And that's where, kind of like one of my first animes that I ever watched was Record of Lodoss Wars. It's an old one.
That's one.
And that's another one. Like, it's the slow burn kind of. Even though it's more of an OVA, it's only like what, 4 episodes, or I can't remember how it's broken
Did you
up,
ever watch the TV series that came out like a couple years after that?
No, I never did. I only saw the original.
So the original is still better.
Oh yeah.
But that one, you could tell, it's after. I have to think of the name for a second. Parn.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Parn and Deedlit, and Parn is now, the struggle is over. He's a decent, soldier and
Yeah.
everything. So it's kind of like it loses a little bit of that intrigue,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
once you have, you have the guy, he's not struggling
Mhm.
anymore, he's badass. But and they just introduce a ton of characters. Amazing opening song though, but
Yeah. Okay.
but
Look it up.
other than that, it's kind of that one I guess you would say is in the mid. But that's I don't think that's not a bad take.
I don't think so.
I think some people will even say it's bad. I wouldn't say it's bad though.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, and hot takes I think are fun. I think they push conversation because like I think solo leveling is mid, but I love it. Like I loved every minute of it. I had a great time. If I'm like trying to be like, what do I get out of an anime holistically? It was fun and I enjoyed it, but it didn't check every single box like some other animes do, right? And just at the same time, like one of my favorite animes is like Initial D, and I can't say it's my favorite because it's great. I just really like cars, and there's cars in it, and it's classic. Like so
That's kind of like that's one of the shows that I will use, or I should even say manga, I'll use to tell people like, hey, anime, like whatever you're into, there is an anime for.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and they have that coming on. So another thing I'm excited about is like MF Ghost.
Okay.
The next season of MF Ghost, because it's basically the continuation of Initial D and everything, right? And so that's what I'm excited about. And kind of to go back just like 2 steps, I guess, I would love to build the car community too, involving the convention space, right? Like this year we have the Atasha guys come out again, and we'll have them out next year, and I'd love to kind of grow that too, and just do like car events and just get all the different aspects of everybody, because they're all interchanged. They all know each other and like the same things at the end of the day.
Right.
Mhm.
No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Da-da-don is a good one too. That's been
I haven't seen that one yet. That is on my list.
That one's been really fun. I'm excited to see that too.
Okay.
I'd say those are the ones that are like kind of higher on my list. But I also go on a Crunchyroll sometimes at night and just watch things randomly.
I've started to, like about a year ago, I was like, I don't know how to make a video like that. But I'm like, I've been thinking in my head, like, I need to just start, because, you'll end up not starting anything. So I'm like, let me just click on something and just see what the first 15 minutes is like.
Yeah. That's how I found, what's the name of it? The Muscles, shoot, what is it called? There's this anime about like exercising and working out, and it's kind of ridiculous. It can be a little fan serving.
Wait a minute, is this the one where the dude is like
he's like super jacked.
ripped.
Yes. Let me see, what is it? I have to know.
I don't know the name of it, but I have seen pictures of him, and he looks like, at least the pictures I've seen, he looks like a happy guy.
Yes. No, he is. It's super, and that's why it's super funny, because it's very slice of lifey, right, for the most part. And I do enjoy the slice of life animes, and like, but it's high school girls one that wants to lose weight, I think, and so they decide to go to the gym, and then there's one who's like super obsessed with working out, so she's like super intense, and then of course it like grows and the group grows, and then all of a sudden there's teachers involved, and there's like 5 people that go to the gym every day, and this guy, he's like, yes, I'll train you. He looks like me, he's very normal, and then he flexes and all of his clothes rip off and he's giant, and they're like, what did I sign up for? Because they basically signed up for a, like, it's making fun of like Gold's Gym, like an Arnold Schwarzenegger, like it's a powerlifting and bodybuilding gym, not like a regular gym for regular people.
Right.
So like, and it's so silly that I like started watching it, and I just watched the whole thing in like one night. I was like, let's do it, because it's only like 11 or 12 episodes, I think. And so I did. I ended up binging it and stuff like that. I do it all the time on Crunchyroll just to find something fun. No idea if it's popular or not, but it was funny. It made me laugh.
Right. Yeah, that's how you find stuff like just unexpectedly. Like, sometimes that can be the best way.
Yeah.
To find, rather than someone recommending something, you just literally. Actually, it's kind of like going back to the old days. You go to a store and you just look at a box and you're like, okay, all right, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
I'm like, the art looks cool, that guy looks cool, or whatever, and then you just try it.
Yeah, no, that's true. That or like when anime viewing rooms were really big, because that's how I found out about so much anime by just going to the viewing room and saying, what's that playing on the screen today? At a convention, and I know they're kind of a things of the past. A lot of it's because of licensing and royalties and stuff like that. So it's hard for conventions to do it. And also anime is more mainstream. You know, like Funimation doesn't have to do that to get you to know that there's all this anime that exists. You literally turn your TV on, it's right there in your smart TV, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's very true. And I'll never forget this. And this person might also see this, but me mentioning this, but I'll never forget, like, one time I had a friend that was really frustrated. She went with a group of other friends, and she was just like, I don't think I'm going to go to these things anymore because I feel like most of the people that I'm around, they don't do the things that I want to do. And then I'm trying to figure out, like, what is that? What do you mean? What do they not do? And then she was like, I want to go to an anime convention to watch anime.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I guess they are doing a billion different things, but yeah, they're not doing that.
Yeah.
And I was like, and you're right. It's like, it was very common. I remember even at a much smaller convention, they would show fan subs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like you said, that's definitely
no, you're not gonna get that anymore. No. Yeah. We used to get our anime. I was telling a friend of mine. I found like a stack a long time ago when we were moving. I found like a stack of VCDs. I was like, oh, that's how you had to find anime, because there was so much that it's not even that you were getting it instead of buying it. It did not exist for purchase. You had to find it other ways, right? Scanlations and all those kind of things that obviously are not. You can't do that anymore. But we have anime is so easily accessible now, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I can pretty much turn on any app, Crunchyroll or High Dive, or even Netflix. But even Amazon, I've noticed, has started carrying a lot of old anime, which is pretty cool. I think City Hunter is actually on Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like old anime. They've started carrying a lot of like the
man.
big classics. Yeah. So
No,
that's
that is good to see, because
Mhm.
I mean, you do get afraid that that they'll just disappear and just be long forgotten, or it'll exist on YouTube in a at
Yeah.
whatever 1060p or something,
Yeah.
and and you're like, I can't watch this.
I
This just looks
know.
too bad.
Oh my gosh, I know. I remember trying to watch Dragon Ball Z like that, like way back in the day, or Dragon Ball GT maybe it was, because it hadn't come out yet in the States. You're watching on it like this big, because any bigger than it's just blown out, you can't watch it.
And it's just a mess. It's
Mhm.
nothing's clear.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
So I got to ask you now.
Yeah.
Favorite anime.
That's,
If you can't think of one, you can name a couple.
Yeah,
If there's a couple.
I would say that's tough. I would say favorite anime is probably, like, realistically, I'd say Free Run is up there as like an all-time favorite
Okay.
now. Iria, Zerum the animation. That's
Oh,
an old
okay.
one.
Yeah,
an old one.
that's I like that.
Yeah.
I think I have like the DVD that came in a tin.
Oh,
with it.
really? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. That's definitely a top one for me. And I don't know if it's because of nostalgia or, because it's one of the first animes I'd seen.
It
but
also has beautiful animation.
It really does have really good animation, and it's a cool story, right? With the crazy monster. I've always I wish I could cosplay that giant, like Zerum, the giant
Oh,
monster. I think
man, I
he's so
can't-
cool.
yeah,
But like,
it's-
how?
And you have to find someone that's like that, like takes it like a big like blown up picture of the
Yes.
character, gets all the little small little
Mhm.
details and everything.
Yeah,
'Cause they-
exactly. And he's also like a 10-foot tall creature, right? I mean, like, how would I do this? I have to get stilts, and is it worth the effort? Maybe it's just more of a fun like dream, right? But like that, yeah. And then Initial D. Initial D is definitely a top anime for me. I've rewatched that one a number of times, because that's kind of, I would say, my like segue into anime was definitely, the Need for Speed game, PlayStation 2 era, right? I had a PS1 and a Sega and all that stuff, but like really like the PS2 era games is like when I got into anime, Pokemon, all that kind of stuff, right? And then N64, you had the Zelda and stuff like that. So they're very adjacent, right? And so
yeah.
that all kind of started like kind of coming to a head for me at the same time. So that's kind of where all that came from.
Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I could definitely see that.
yeah. As I have my Formula Drift shirt on. Yeah.
So, since even though I do talk a lot about anime and conventions on my channel, it is called the Gaming Harbinger. So
Yeah.
I can't leave without asking you, your favorite game.
Yeah, and that's a tough one too. And like lately, I was really hooked into Dune. What was it called? Dune Awakening. I think it came
Oh.
out. So I was playing that with some friends because I have friends that I play with back in Louisiana still. So we're like, okay, what's the next kind of group game that we can play or whatever? And so got really into Dune Awakening because there's just a really cool landscape. But I would say favorite game is probably a toss up between, I don't know. I have 40 years of games to pick from. But like,
I know the.
I would say Fallout, the Fallout franchise.
Okay.
Absolutely love the Fallout franchise. From the Bethesda glitches to the just crazy lore, right? I love the
So
Fallout
then
franchise.
you must have been happy about the series.
Yeah, the series was so good. I think they nailed it, in my opinion. They nailed the feel.
I
of
know,
Fallout.
and it's really not, especially with gaming.
Yeah.
We've been doing better lately at
Yes.
getting good stuff from, movies or
Uh-huh.
TV shows that are based on games. But I mean, because
Yeah.
not even 10 years ago, it was just nothing but
Nothing.
misses.
I know.
Nothing but misses.
Big misses. I like to thank. I like to attribute Last of Us. Last of Us.
Oh,
They
yeah, that
killed
was
it. That adaptation was so good, especially some of the scenes where it's like shot for shot, and that's another like amazing game. And so when I replayed it right before the series came out just to refresh my memory, and I was like, I am not disappointed at all. So totally different from the original Street Fighter movie with Raul Julia that came out in the 90s, right? Like that's what we had. This is what we have now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's funny is when I saw that as a kid, I like enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But then when I went back and watched it years later, I was like, all right.
Yeah, I know. There's
I was
some
like,
memorable quotes, but it's it's not a great
and
representation.
it's like it has a lot of famous people in it. It
Yeah.
has stars in it.
Yeah, big stars at the time, for sure.
But I think they just really didn't know what to do. Like, oh, we're based on this video game thing, and
Yeah.
okay, we'll add this into the story, and hopefully, the fights and all that
Uh-huh.
will carry it or whatever. The stars will carry it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guess to some degree that was true, but
Yeah. That's true. Zelda Ocarina of Time is a good one too.
Oh,
And-
that's definitely a classic.
That one's a classic. And any Final Fantasy. I play all the Final Fantasies, even 14, the MMO. Those are always good. Any good JRPG, especially a classic JRPG, that's like a top of the list for me.
Did you did you play any of the remakes for 7?
I started and I have it, and I need to go back and play it because Final Fantasy VII was my first Final Fantasy. So I was blinded. I'll admit I made an Angel Fire website back in the day for Final Fantasy VII, a little Final Fantasy VII shrine and everything, right? Like people used to do. I was obsessed with Final Fantasy VII, and then 8, 9, 10, loved those. And then as I've played more of them, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm willing to admit where the faults are in 7. It's not the perfect game. It still like holds a really soft spot in my heart, right? But the remake I started playing, I only got about halfway through the first remake. And it was so much fun though. It did a really good job. I need to go back and finish it. It's on my list.
Yeah, I always, my friends will give me hell sometimes about this, but like I'm really big into Final Fantasy VI.
Oh yeah.
And when I played the remake for 7, even I was impressed. I was like, they did I understand to some degree, they might add a little extra stuff and maybe overextend it, but if it's interesting, the characters are making you laugh, and it's more like, it's just broadening and expanding the story to characters you like.
Yeah.
If it was characters you didn't care about or they weren't interesting, then you probably be like, well, I don't really care about all this extra stuff. But if it's characters you really like, and you're having a good time, it's hard to say, no, I wish they would just get to the point and just end the game, where, just like the original. It's like, I have to admit that was pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm excited to go back and play it, because I like to think that I'm pretty good about separating myself from, okay, I read the Lord of the Rings, I saw the Lord of the Rings movie. they're not meant to be the literal exact same thing.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
can take this for the movie version and this,
Yeah.
you know, and I can enjoy both, right? And so yeah, I'm excited to go back because from what I did play, I liked it a lot. They made some really good creative decisions, I think. Also, because sometimes some of it's to help move the story a little quicker too, because you know, do we want another 150-hour game or do we want a 60-hour game? You know,
Yeah,
like,
I still haven't played Rebirth, but
Mhm.
I played because I played I think I played
Yeah,
the 7 remake. I
Mhm.
completed that, and then I jumped immediately into 16.
Okay, so I haven't played 16
So I
yet.
didn't. So then I kind of was like, okay, I do. I've been in, and by the way, 16 I think is pretty good
Yeah.
too,
Okay.
and it's definitely the most. It is the darkest,
Okay.
but not like darkest. Like it's not gonna be the darkest game you ever played.
Yeah.
But for a Final Fantasy game, it's gonna come off
Okay.
as the. Oh, but you said you played 14, so you'll be familiar with like the writing style because it has the same director that did
Okay.
that did
Yeah.
14.
Yeah. Okay. Then yeah, I'll be familiar because 14. I won't say it's dark, but because it's MMO, so it's a little different. But luckily, I came around 14 after the nuke, and they fixed it, which I think is the most creative way to say, look, we admit it. Here's how we're gonna just remake the entire game, but keep it the same game. Drop a comment. Here's a new game. Go.
I can't.
Like, I thought that was wild.
I remember like hearing about that story and just thinking, I can't imagine the stress that they were
the
under.
studio. No, me either. I can't imagine it all.
Because I can only imagine some people are like, you know, we just got to give up. Like, just throw in the towel.
Mhm.
We're wasting more money, or and then there's some people that are like, no, this is gonna work. This is totally gonna work this
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
No, me either. And the 7 remake, the first part it ends at Midgard, right? Like when you leave Midgard is where it ends.
Mm-hmm.
Where does Rebirth take you? Is it the rest of the game or does it go?
So it's still just like you're not gonna still be finished with the game. It might be kind of halfway,
Oh, okay.
2/3 through.
Oh wow. Okay.
And then they're gonna have the third game that comes out, and that's supposed to be like.
Oh,
So
okay.
they turned it into a trilogy,
just like the original 3 discs, kind of.
Well, there you go. Yeah,
kind of.
That's
3 or 4.
Yeah,
I don't remember,
can't.
but yeah, it was multiple.
It was multiple.
Discs,
Yeah.
I do remember that. Yeah, no, I do love the Final Fantasies though. I will say my hot take on that though is I think my favorite Final Fantasy is actually Final Fantasy 9.
Okay.
Which is, I know, not the most popular opinion, but I don't know, something about the music and just it's kind of goofy. I think that's why I liked it, because you know, like with Kuja and the transformations and everything.
Yeah.
Everything was just kind of different. I did like 9. 6 is very up there though. 6 music is amazing. I don't know if you've ever had a chance to go to like any of the concerts or anything like that.
Man, I would love to.
Yeah.
I would love to.
I went to the one, they did one in Dallas, no, Fort Worth. I think in 2004, the Dear Friends concerts. And we came from Louisiana to go. That was my first time coming. I want to say it was 2003 actually, because that was my first time coming to DFW. And then the next year is when we started going to A-Kon every year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, it was fun. It was cool. The music is, I think that's my biggest draw. The music is so good for Final Fantasy.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I would say that's definitely a staple
Yeah.
of the series is the quality of the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I have all of it on records and stuff like that. I think it's fun. But yeah, that's where I think where I'm at gaming. I play everything though, to be honest. I might get Battlefield 6 next week. I don't know. Like whatever my friends are playing, you know, if it looks interesting enough, I'll kind of jump on and give it a try. I'll try almost anything.
Right.
know?
I think that's kind of the way I look at it too. Yeah.
Mhm.
I want to play stuff with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, if there's something that only I'm into, then I'll play it. You know, something like Silent Hill F.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but if there's something, if I have a choice though, I'm like, yeah, you know, so and so is going to be on, you know, this Saturday. Okay, what are they playing? Oh, okay, yeah, I was going to buy this anyway, so
Yeah.
we'll do that.
Exactly.
Well, I don't want to take up any more of your time. This has been an awesome conversation.
Yeah, no,
man.
I love it, man. I'm a chatty Cathy too. If we're talking about something I'm into. I'll talk your ear off. So I appreciate the opportunity though. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really look forward to seeing, you know, just the convention to continue to get bigger, just keep growing, and I really like to see where where it's headed next.
Yeah.
And I think you're doing a good job with like like what you mentioned to me about the burlesque show.
Mm-hmm.
I think just how did I can't remember how you were. You said throw something and just see.
Yeah, you throw pasta at the wall to see if it sticks.
Yeah, I really do think I mean, you already have certain things in place. Like,
Mhm.
okay, like you said, you're going to sell stuff. You're going to have a dealer's room. You're going to have panels. But I do think it's good that you guys are trying, experimenting, different things, and just saying, okay, do you guys like this? Okay, you don't like this? Okay, we're going to try something different next time.
Yeah.
I think that's a smart way to go about doing things. So then they know, I can't go to any other convention and they have this.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the goal for sure, and it's always really funny because it's hard to say, 'cause sometimes in our staff conversations or whatever, we'll say, oh, we should do this, it would be so much fun. I'm like, we would think it's fun, but would everyone want to do it? And, like, sure, it's great, it's like inside jokes, like, you can have a great inside joke. It's really only funny to the people that are part of that inside joke. It's not,
I know some people that are like that, and I know some of those people, they're like, yeah, I don't care if nobody understands it. It's still just funny to me. And it's like, no.
Yeah, I know, which can be fine. Sometimes some of the best panels start off that way, to be honest, the fan panels. That's what I love about the fan panels too, is sometimes they're so unhinged. but they're so much fun. They end up being you think, you're like, I don't know about that. And then you go and you're like, wow, this was the most fun I've had like in a week. This is great. So, but yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, it's been a pleasure. I appreciate it.
Yeah.